let's talk about the work. So, yeah, Country Gravy, the title of the show, it's almost this like weird times, right? So a lot of the work was developed during 2016 up until now, but mostly the beginnings of a lot of the works were when I was in grad school. I did a lot of things in grad school, performance art, video, I even dabbled with installation, working with just materials that are found, but also my background is painting, so I love oil paint, I love representational painting. I'm also a tattoo artist, so I am like a multifaceted motherfucker, you know? And I really love to lean into this idea that I'm a multi-potentialite, so there's no real like my bathroom is just chaos, it's constant experimentation. So a lot of these are experiments, there's no like I often say like nothing is ever really finished in my studio or in my mind, because years down the line it might end up being another iteration, or it's very much malleable work. So I wanted to just maybe take a few moments to just like point out different corners of the room or walls in the space. So let's start with these larger little selections. So over here we have, I love this piece. This is the very first large-scale menstrual piece. And when I say menstrual, this is actual menstrual blood. So just know that a little bit about the whole process is that I have menorrhagia. It literally means you hemorrhage when it's that time of the month. I also have a copper IUD, which exacerbates it. And I love the idea of putting myself through this uncomfortable process. A lot of my art deals with this notion that I am leaning into discomfort. It's very much, I'm obsessed with theories of abjection. Julia Kristeva is like my favorite philosophical, psychoanalytic, wonderful Wonder Woman. So I love to read her text, and it inspires me. So this is actually, we have this process where I'm kind of working in this idea of staining. So all the works that you see are staining, but I like to point out I'm very type A, so there's a moment where I put a little gesso on the piece, and I didn't really like that, so I committed moving forward to this idea of staining. So over here we have, I like to say COVID, early COVID era. COVID was weird. This was when I was, she remembers my bathroom studio. It was smelly in there and very tight, and a lot of the works you see behind you are also produced in my bathroom. And I like this idea that like artists don't necessarily have to have a studio, they can just paint in the spaces that they have accessible to them. And so really it was this idea that I'm like, I'm not gonna pay for a studio when like adjunct salary, it's pretty bad, but things are getting a little bit better. Not so much in Florida though. Yeah. But in here, I just kind of lean more into this idea of the material process, embracing the clots, embracing, all this like materialness, all this intuitive, messing around, like letting paint be paint, let blood be blood, right? Over here is more recent. I like this idea that I'm transitioning more into other materials that remind me of this material of menstruation. So bleach is something that comes to mind because the vagina naturally can bleach panties, surprisingly. So this idea of bleaching or a bleach stain is something that I kind of lean into. And miraculously, if you look over here, this little gem over here, lumberjill, as I like to call it, has bleach directly applied over it. And I love that it stains. It actually makes the blood disappear. So the two go hand in hand because the material is not really forgiving if you just use blood, but the bleach really amplifies this idea that you're kind of leading into bleaching stains, but also blood stains. There's also this whole like weird thing with menstruation. It's like this idea that it's like a hygiene issue and we have to like keep it, in the closet and keep it very sterile. And I'm like, no, women need to be more savage. We need to lean into their like their vulnerabilities and lean into this like, like every woman, I don't know. I don't advocate every woman drink a menstrual cup, but try it one time. You might like it, you might not, but hey, I mean, I'm still here, right? So